Hello, Amanda.
Hi, Ryan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, I looked over at my phone and it's like, why does it need my name?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. Great. So you're in McKinney, right?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. Whereabouts? I live on 380 in Custer myself.
I live at Stacy and 121.
Well, yeah, we're neighbors, pretty close.
Yeah. I go over to that Sprouts off of Custer.
Yes, very good. Yeah, we've
hmm
got a LA Fitness right next door, so that is
Yeah.
definitely my stomping grounds. So, Amanda,
hmm
I know we carved out 30 minutes, and so things are super busy on my side, and I'm sure for you as well. But I wanted to really dive in and give you a little background here. So,
Okay.
I'm the president and founder of our company, Lead Liaison,
hmm
and we are looking to find a new marketer. So the marketing person who has been with us for a little over 3 years, to
hmm
be honest, between you and me, she's an admin that we kind of turned into a marketer. And we're
Okay.
at a different stage in the company's life cycle where we need to find somebody with very solid marketing experience that we can plug in and they can make some progress right away. So with this 30 minutes, what I'd love to do is have you introduce yourself to me, and then
hmm
I've got a list of items that I want to go through and have you tell me about your experiences if you do have them, again, around different areas of marketing, because that's
hmm
really my goal. Again, we're kind of at this phase where we're just short of $1 million. This year we'll do over 1 million in annual sales. So we're a small business, right? We've got, I forget the count, I think maybe 16, 17 full time
hmm
so far. Sorry about the noise. I would need
It's
to
okay.
check on that, but we've got, let's just call it 16 full-time people. And, we use another 15 or 20 part-time people based on experiences on top of that.
Okay.
So again, it's important for me to make sure that we identify somebody who we know can do the role.
hmm
And then overall, the process, we typically do 4 rounds for an interview. And
Okay.
honestly, Amanda, this position is super vital for us. So,
hmm
we're not gonna, take it lightly. To be candid, I've had over 100 resumes on Indeed. I've narrowed that down to 5 or 6. So you're one of 5 or 6 here, which is great.
hmm
And then after this, we've got an assessment that we like to send people. Then you'd interview with the team if things move forward, and then finally, we would meet up, or you and I would have another meeting. So, any questions about the role and what we're looking for?
No. I've done, research. I did have questions on like the technology, but I figure you're going to get into that in just a moment. So
Yeah.
that's it for now.
So I'd be happy to cover. Yeah, you want just an overview on the technology, or what questions did you have? Because I know just in terms of time, I don't want to go.
Right. Okay.
I want to give you the background that you feel you might need to answer questions, right? So
Sure. So of course, whenever you're in marketing, you can market to majority of anything, but whenever you have direct hands-on experience, then you're able to kind of grow with it a lot quicker. And I actually utilized a company similar at Allegis. It was called Lead Forensics. I'm sure you've heard of it.
mhm. Yeah,
And I was curious if because your company looks like it's got more. And Lead Forensics, all it does is it tracks who comes on the company website. And
sure.
they had like 1.3 billion IP addresses. So I was just curious where you
Yeah.
guys were on that.
Definitely. Let me step in. I'll give you kind of an executive summary of our portfolio. And all this
Thanks.
is on our website. But I always like to tell people think of a vase, like a vase of flowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
VASE. So it's kind of a good acronym. So we really have four solutions in our
Mm-hmm.
portfolio. Okay. They all comprise what we call revenue generation software. But the
Sure.
four pieces are V, which is visitor tracking. So that
Mm-hmm.
contains lead forensics. So we know them quite well. The
Thought so.
A is automation, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's marketing automation. So very similar but better technology, in my opinion, to HubSpot, Marketo, Pardot, you name it. So
I
that's
used Acton. Mm-hmm.
yep. Good. Yeah. So they would be in that class of solutions. And
Got
then
it.
S is sales automation or sales enablement. So very
Mm-hmm.
similar to Outreach.io or SalesLoft. And then the E is the last one and the most important one, and that is what we call event lead management. It's a very nascent space, Amanda, but it's growing. And the other three pieces, the visitor tracking, automation, the sales enablement, those three pieces are becoming less and less of a focus for us. I mean, they all kind of help each other out and work together.
Sure.
That's the benefit of a platform. But the event
Mm-hmm.
lead management piece, you'll find that on our website under, it's called Go Exhibit, and the mobile app is Go Capture. But it basically
Mm-hmm.
helps companies that are either going to trade shows and exhibiting or running their own events. It helps them capture leads very efficiently. We sort of help a marketer take control over that process as opposed to using what you might get at the show, the show app. So
Yeah, because
that's the
got
bulk
it.
of our momentum and our
Mm-hmm.
inertia inside the company.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really it's something we're just kind of focusing on so much that the plan here in the short term, which dovetails into what the marketer really needs to own, is
Mm-hmm.
we're creating another brand. And the name for that is called Captello, but we haven't done the website. We haven't done much. We're paying somebody to help with the branding and the logo. But the
Sure.
plan is sort of two things, right? We're not dumping Lead Liaison, but Lead Liaison is really going to morph into a sales and marketing platform for medium-sized businesses. And then
Mm-hmm.
Captello is going to be hyper focused on events and lead capture.
No, that's great. I was actually one of the marketers that used the crappy software at events such as AHR and NTEA work truck show. So
Okay.
it stunk,
Yeah.
to be frank. Hmm.
Why did it stink, in your opinion?
I had to download everything into a CV Excel file, and
Mhm.
that was the only way to get it into the act on and do the thanks for coming. There was no way to actually utilize my email mobile and just send them a thanks while I was there at the trade show. I had to go to the office and physically do it,
Right. Yeah.
and that's not good. I should be able to enable to just click a button, send them a thanks for stopping by. We'll be in touch with whatever they had requested right then and there.
Definitely. Couldn't agree with you more.
That's why you did it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I understand completely. So
awesome. And I know I'm kind of rushing stuff,
it's okay.
but I know I did carve out 30 minutes, and I want to take the time to make sure I get to know you as well. But hopefully that background helps, Amanda. But do you want to give me any background or share anything before I ask you a handful of
Uh,
questions that would help me match if you're a good fit?
sure. So I started at my big girl at J.C. Penney corporate. I was part of the mass layoff when Ron Johnson came over and decided no more coupons.
Mhm.
Um, but while I was there, similar to you, I decided I was going to go back to school, and I did it really quick while being a single mom. So I got a 4-year degree in 2 years while working full time and taking care of my son, who is now a Marine. And I do like to talk about him. It brings in the veteran focus from my perspective whenever I'm talking to other people. And then from there, I found I had like jumping jobs taking care of my grandfather and my mom. But then I found work family at Allegis, and I was their first marketing employee. So I helped develop their website, but I developed all their Google pages and, social media and whatnot. And then grew the marketing to more positions, but then it went to director level in Minnesota.
Okay.
And I didn't want to go to Minnesota.
Yeah.
So
I thought your answers in your audio interview were pretty good about, hey, yeah, it's pretty cold there. I grew up in Michigan, so I definitely can relate to the weather. But yeah, so how big is Allegis?
They have about 100 employees, but about $1 billion in sales revenue.
Okay.
So I utilize the CRM of Tour de Force, who is partnered with Act On, and I was kind of the brand ambassador of those two companies. And I would speak to other companies trying to buy that software while doing my full-time job. So that was fun. But I was just somebody who.
How did you get roped into that, being the brand ambassador?
Because I really enjoyed talking to people, and I used every function to a T. Like I went on Tour de Force and was looking at all their webinars and all their training, would go to their admin, and I learned so much about the software, and I was using features that they hadn't fully developed yet. And then I integrated it more into Act On, talking to my IT manager. And so they just had me do some webinars and said, hey, can we give your number to people who are interested in purchasing it? And I'm like, sure. So I had a bunch of companies that would call me and ask me direct questions, and I would talk to them. Using the software, I was able to locate, I think it was about 11,000 contacts that had been hidden in Allegis' I guess, old ERP. So it was just a big benefit to just go through all the software. I'm a very hands-on person. So I like things in front of me, and I like to talk to people, and I would just, do a quick share screen using Snagit actually, and talk to them. So that was fun to me.
No, that's
which
great.
is why I thought this would be a good fit.
Yeah,
I thought it would kind of tie in what I did.
Yeah, I'm sure those vendors love that you are willing to go to bat for them. So that's great.
I was like, hey, give me commission. Haha. That was a joke with them.
Right on. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go through a couple items here, really more around qualifications that I feel we need, and that might be a good match.
Sure.
Okay. So first thing is just so I can wrap my mind around the role. So, or why you're leaving Allegis. So basically, if I understand you correctly, the role got moved up to up north, and then you didn't want to make that change. They wanted you to move. Is that correct?
Correct.
Relocate? Okay. And that's something. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, good. And so have you left, or are you still employed there?
I have left.
Gotcha. How long have you?
At the beginning of July, so right before the 4th. So I'm going nuts, honestly.
How has the job hunt been, being out for a month and a half?
It's been, I have a lot of first and second interviews, and then nobody follows up. A lot of companies do that I'm learning.
Yeah. What are you looking
frustrating.
for? Is it a marketing role, or are you looking for something else?
I am honestly looking for something that piques my interest, that will get me excited again, because I had not done B2B before Allegis, and I was B2C at JCP. So honestly, I just look for something that is interesting to me And if somebody is interested in me both ways, and gets me passionate about the role and gets me to where I'm wanting to be brand advocate, because that's something that I'm really good at.
Okay. So you mentioned motivation. I always like to understand what motivates people. So what motivates Amanda?
What motivates Amanda is learning something new every day, being creative, and integrity. Yeah. And my son, but that's something separate. That's personal.
No, it's all good. Yeah. Now, when you say creative, you mean when you have the opportunities to be creative, or creative in what capacity?
Creative in the capacity of just working with somebody with the same mindset as me, who's a go-getter. You see a company that you want to speak to, well, don't just hold back, actually start right then. Get a list. Why do you want to go to that company? I mean, like, why do you want to sell them the software? Looking at with the Capello, is that, am I saying that
Captello.
right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Cat pillow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's basically capture combined with
Hmm.
hello, right? So once you capture, you should certainly be saying hello, and then LL as in lead liaison. So it's kind of a creative name,
I
and
got it.
the domain name's available. So at that point, why not?
I like it. I like it. I like it. So, no, it's just, I don't know. My husband, I drive him nuts because I'll organize uh, an example, our curio, which has, memories of things, our wedding, my son's graduation from high school and Marine boot camp. I have reorganized that thing probably about 20 times in the past month.
Hmm.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm trying to make it perfect.
Right.
Well, what are you going to do now? I'm going to reorganize my closet. Why? Because I can. I can't just sit.
Right.
That's
Okay.
not Mandy.
So, oh, do you prefer Mandy or you Amanda?
I actually, my friends and work, yes, I prefer Mandy.
Okay. Got it. Mandy.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And you mentioned that you like people with the same mindset and people who are go-getters. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the inference there is that you're a go-getter. What makes you a go-getter?
Well, it's just that I make lists and lists of, instead of trying to, I do want to come up with the steps of how to get the big picture done, of course, but I want to get started on some of those immediately and look at what the next step is once you finish that. I'm sure you exactly know what I mean.
Hmm? Yeah, just dive in. Everybody likes to dive in. I always do. I think that's the best way to learn is dive in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Hands
Yeah,
on.
and especially for our company, being a small business, I mean, we do have some online training courses that's our support team built that we give to clients, but it's not like, I just always need to make sure when I talk to people, they don't think, okay, you're going to go into a classroom for 2 weeks and we're going to give you a booklet and, you're going to take a quiz and all of that. That's not how it goes. That's not reality for us. So just so
Yeah.
that's clear with you. So let's
Mm-hmm.
moving on here because I know we've got 8 minutes, but we'll need to kind of fast forward a little bit here. So Google Ads. So
Mm-hmm.
we kind of have ramped up our spending. We
Mm-hmm.
were spending about $2,000 a month on Google Ads. We've actually paused it since we're making this change. But I really haven't seen the ROI on Google Ads that I think we deserve and we should be getting. So I need somebody who's got some experience. That's all of these are, by the way, just huge pluses. Certainly,
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeking to try to find out if you have these qualifications so that when you come in, you can make that direct impact. Uh, so,
Sure.
so have you done anything around Google Ads?
Yes, with Allegis, I would utilize the keywords that companies were using to come to us and try to ensure that all the images had the alt tags, and then I would go and create campaigns in Google using those. I don't have my results. I only downloaded my results for my email campaigns, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I already saw some that might be good for you, because there's two. Whenever you just search for your company, there's two that come up before you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
So how would you kind of quantify your experience with Google Ads? You know, has it been in there kind of a month, or you were driving it for several years and you're certified, or how would you quantify?
I was driving it for 5 years. I am not certified, but I am a intermediate user. I can go in and customize reports and make sure that everything is working properly, find errors, make sure the tags are in there, and then I can find the keywords that companies were searching for and make sure that you're not going to make a huge spend. If you only have 2,000, for example, you might not, you would want to use lead liaison, of course, as one of the ads.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a campaign for one, but you wouldn't want to use lead, because that is going to just take all your spend in the first day. So
Yeah.
it would just be it would just be based upon the reports that I would see there. So honestly, it's hard to say, because I was using marketing and hardware.
Yeah. All right. How
Not
about,
marketing, manufacturing, sorry.
okay. How about LinkedIn ads?
Oh, yes. Did every single one of them for Allegis Corporate. We had just started to do the actual spending out of our own account. We were using we'll let you do this for free and $100, and I would get, like 40 insights on each ad that I would do. Well, insights would be about 1,000, but the clicks and opens would be about 40. So it's not very good, but there's only about 50 followers for
Mm-hmm.
Allegis Corporate, because everybody thought that it was Allegis Staffing. So that took about a year to get people to be not coming to us for staffing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yes, I did LinkedIn ads, I did Facebook ads. I did not do anything with Twitter.
It's okay. We don't
So
focus really much on Twitter and Facebook being B2B. So
yeah, yeah.
our audience is mainly, searching the web or on LinkedIn. So how about
Mm-hmm.
content creation? So one key strategy for us is, we believe content is king or queen, depending on who you're talking to. So what kind of content have you created, or do you just oversee content creation, or have you been hands-on, like you said, with all kinds of content that could be written content, video content? I need somebody, to come in and they're just myopically focused, on helping to also create content, and a lot of that they might have to do themselves.
Sure. So I had a graphic designer that would work with me to, take the parts and give me a different background, and I would do different headlines and build the email campaigns in Acton to send out to about, I think it was 25,000 customers a month is what I would use, depending on the industry. And I would also do the content for the ads on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on the website. I added all the parts. There's about 5,000. So, and I also rebuilt their catalog, which hadn't been done in 10 years, because that is an older customer who wants to hold the catalog in their hand.
So do you do any graphics yourself, or you would always rely on other people for that?
I did some basic photoshopping, of course, editing out images. I would use, I'm having a brain fart right now, so I'm really sorry.
No problem.
I would utilize stock images and take out the background once we purchased the image, and I would put it on whatever the EVP was thinking of. If he wanted to pop out a hinge on a truck, I would contact a customer, get a vehicle image. And so, yes, I would do the photoshopping in Adobe Creative Suite.
Okay. Have you ever used Canva?
No, but it would just be a learning curve, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's nice software. How
Good.
about written content? So have you ever created white papers or
Mm-hmm.
blog posts or anything like that?
Yes, for
Okay.
about 5 years.
All right.
I also wrote content on JCPenney website as well. So I
Okay.
do have different experience.
You enjoy doing that stuff?
I did. I did. I like to, I'm kind of old school, like to handwrite it first and then I type it. I don't know
Mhm.
why, but I do my editing as I type it, and then I walk away, go back 5 minutes later, and then I'm ready to post.
Okay.
So it's a quick process.
Got it. How about video content? Have you ever done any video content? And then how would you feel if you had to create like let's say a YouTube channel where maybe there were short clips that were educational, because really the key to selling is to educate. And so we, again, as part of our content curation strategy, we want to get content out there. So how would you feel
Hmm.
about creating video clips that were educational?
So I actually started using the video software to start editing and putting on different logos, utilizing some little clips of manufacturer videos, and I had them on Vimeo for Allegiance. So I had a Vimeo channel, and that was actually my call to action on a lot of my email campaigns and white papers. So no problem building a university of a knowledge base, basically.
Hmm.
So they would know how to do things. And that's kind of what I did whenever I was speaking as a brand ambassador. Using Snagit, I would do little recordings of how I did things, and I would send it to them and say, this is how I do it. Why don't we work together on it? So yeah, no problem.
All right, sounds good. And you did mention you've done trade shows. So did you
Oh,
handle
yes.
the whole trade show, or you were just
Hmm.
part of it?
I did everything from renting the carpet that they stood on to doing the sending out the marketing collateral and setting up a happy hour or the hotels for them. And I would go to the trade show events, do little Twitter, blah, sorry, I need something to drink. I would do little Twitter videos and say, we're down here, come see us. Um, and I mean, just little snippets, but I like to be at the trade show. And then afterwards, I would do the lead follow up and get it to sales.
Cool. Yeah, what I'm looking for is somebody that has some experience there and doesn't say, what's a trade show? You know, we're
I'm
just
sorry.
kind of stepping into it a little more. I mean, our first major one was Exhibitor Live in Las Vegas in February, and
Mm-hmm.
we captured 230 leads, probably a good
Oh,
200K
that's great.
line business, and we've closed about 75K, 80K in business and got some really good clients. We just did another one in Miami, Florida. I went down there for that one as well, and
Mm-hmm.
a good event. It was healthcare, but we set up our exhibit and had a good show. But we're next year we're planning to do minimum of two, but I think there's some others that I'd like to look into, like CES
Next.
perhaps, and then maybe a few others. But I do think trade shows are kind of a growing and vital piece of our business, especially given our solution. Remember the
Definitely.
way with event lead management.
Mm-hmm. I
Social
agree.
media. Have you done some stuff in social media?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would write the little ads, make sure that the hashtags were being followed. Some were paid, but most were not. They
Hmm.
were just organic that I would just post on the page. And I tried to do twice weekly, but with your type of business, it would be a lot more, maybe daily even. I was also the one that responded to customer questions on the website, processed all the orders, and did all the social media responding.
Did you run all that through Acton, or you use Hootsuite or something else?
My phone.
Oh yeah, okay. That works.
Yeah. Yeah, that way I had it and a customer didn't have to wait until the next morning for a response.
Okay, sounds good. And how about press releases? Have you ever written press releases?
Yes, just a few, honestly, about like new salespeople, new branch openings, new jobs coming to a new town, whenever a branch would locate a
Okay,
new location.
good. So we like to do anywhere from 1 to 2 a month.
Hmm.
And so would you be good writing those as well?
Yes.
Awesome. And then comment more on your use of Acton. So it's good you have that background, but tell me kind of what you liked, what you didn't like. Give me a feel for your experience in marketing automation.
Well, what I didn't like is I had to manually send everything out. I wasn't able to use okay, this is when the customers opened it last time. Automation, actually being automated. I would have to just schedule it at, oh, well, I want it to go at 10:30 Central in their time zone. And that was as automated as it got. So then I would schedule programs of if they opened an email within the past week, I want to send them this new white paper about new product. Or if they opened this email on the truck event, I would send them the new product release. So
Mm-hmm.
I would do programs of that nature. Also, if they registered on the website, just do automated programs of welcome to Allegis. This is going to be your customer service rep. So I did that by demographic.
Okay.
I'm usually not so tongue-tied,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just sitting in a chair with my headphones. So it's a little bit different.
You have less to distract you and keep you busy, right?
Yes. And you should see me. I'm like walking around in my chair.
No worries. I know we're diving. It's a lot of info, but it helps. This kind of that first assessment, just and I'm okay
Right.
a little bit over, but yeah, you
Okay.
can collect a little more.
Yeah, and we're close, but so it depended on what the goal was and what you wanted to obtain. But yes, I would create the automated programs, and I'm more of a hands-on, so I'd want to see the tools and see what customers were trying to get out of it to see where it needed to go, and then create the knowledge base and maybe some more FAQs. That's what I liked about Acton, actually. That was one of my favorite things was their blogs and the live feature. So it was basically like a newsletter that came through email that you could subscribe to. So people could ask questions. The feature that I was telling you about, that whenever a customer would open it on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock, and so the next email that I wanted to schedule, I could do Monday through Friday, and it would send it whenever they opened an email normally in the past. So a lot of other customers were asking, when am I going to get that feature? When's that rolling out to everybody? And I was able to just kind of follow it. But since I was part of the brand ambassador, I actually got it a few months before everybody else, but you know what I mean.
Nice.
That was a great feature.
Sounds good. Okay, great. And did you set up, did you create any content like forums or landing pages or do any of that stuff inside their platform?
Yes, landing pages, but not forums. Lee just really didn't have a need for it. I wanted to go there eventually, but landing pages, I would pull together all the email content, the white paper content. I did a LinkedIn question and answer all on HVAC, which air conditioning, because of that huge trade show that Allegis was part of in January of every year. So,
Okay.
and that was just an example of one of the landing pages that I would build.
All right. And then have you ever built up a website or managed anything on WordPress? Because with the Captello brand, we need to have I'd call it a micro site. So nothing huge, but we need to, buy our WordPress theme, begin filling it with content, all of that stuff.
I have not, but I have been watching YouTube tutorials on building a WordPress websites
Okay.
because I've been seeing that it's been coming up. Um, so on job applications. So I'm just
Yeah.
trying to learn as much as I can.
It's really not that hard. It's super
It
easy.
doesn't look it.
Website, I literally built it over a weekend, migrating from one version to another. But we've added a lot more content since then. But it's really not that hard. It's pretty easy. Those
Okay.
WordPress and the themes, gives it a lot of structure and makes it really
Mm-hmm.
to work with. Next item here. How do you feel about public speaking? So if I said, "Hey, Mandy, need you to go," we have a speaking session at an American Marketing Association (AMA) in Dallas, and the topic is on how to capture leads effectively at an event. Would you be comfortable giving a presentation?
Probably the first time I might be a little shy, but the second time, nope. It just I love talking to people, and as you can tell, I talk a lot. Um, but my husband's always telling me that I'm the one that should have been in the band. He's a bass player. So I get on stage with him and I talk to crowds and I pull people out and I dance and things like that. So I'm not shy, uh, but public speaking, I would just need once, maybe to talk to, maybe I could do it in front of you and then in front of the people the next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you
Okay.
haven't done a lot of public speaking in your career, right?
I've only done like Toastmasters events at JCPenney and I've led meetings with like 10 to 20 people,
Hmm.
but if it's not behind a computer, no.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel about travel? So you mentioned trade shows and all of that. So I mean, it wouldn't be a constant thing, but maybe let's just say worst case, once a month, maybe you would go out, leave on a Sunday, because a lot of trade shows and events that might begin on Sunday, like that trade show in Miami. I left. I was waking up at 3 a.m. in Dallas, McKinney, and then getting to left field, and we were there for the Sunday afternoon and Monday, Tuesday. Anyways, how would you feel about going out and traveling to maybe participate in a client's trade show so that we can
Mm-hmm.
help and it's get that experience of being there with them, and as they use our software, obviously coach them, get feedback, all that stuff. How do you feel about travel in general?
No problem. I love traveling.
All right, perfect.
Even to Minnesota. Do you know that I actually liked it? Well, it was cold. I just didn't want to live there.
I hear you. I don't blame you. It's better from the outside in. How
Pretty
about
much.
have you used Slack before?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we use Slack for all of our communication. So it's a communication platform, but really, really helpful. It's probably one of the best things we've done within our company is to convert over to Slack.
I've used
Um,
Basecamp.
yeah, right. Yeah, I'd say more project management. Slack is more like, I hate to say it, Skype or instant messaging, but it's
Oh,
way more than
and
like chat. It's much better.
like Penguin, like
Um,
Penguin.
I don't know that, but if that's instant
Okay,
messaging, then yeah.
it is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
A couple more questions and then we'll wrap up here. So I know we've gone 12 minutes over. So work ethic, how would you kind of grade yourself, for lack of better um, phrasing here? How would you grade yourself on work ethic? And what I mean by that is like, you are you, first in, last out? Are you, all over stuff? Are you, you know what I mean? I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
get to the essence of that.
I I am one like well, I gave you an example already. I would answer customers on my phone And I would work with the web developers of the website at like 10 p.m. because they were in Georgia, and she was a instructor and did this basically in the base camp. So I'm a person that makes sure the job gets done. I don't care what time it is. I don't have a small child that I need to get to school. So like I said, he's 20 and he's in Georgia right now and about to go to Japan, I think.
Cool.
So yeah, I want to make sure the job gets done and make sure that my customers are taken care of and happy.
Got it.
As well, my boss.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, the marketer that we have who's transitioning out, that's one of my plans, you know, I mean, I don't mind, you know, and we have other people in the company, they have kids, I get that, but yeah, it's just a question, like, you know, are they really putting in, you know, all of their effort and trying, and I'm you know, it's get the job done. I don't care what, it doesn't, I don't have, it's not 9 to 5, I don't have boundaries, you know, so
Right. And you might start something at the office and then go home to finish it because you know it's going to take you another 6 hours.
sure.
So you want to start back at home, but you got to make sure that you have a home office ready, which I do. It may have Star Trek on every four walls, but that's okay.
Are you a Star Trek fan?
My husband is, and now I am.
Okay. Awesome. Uh, let's see. So responsiveness, do you feel like you're responsive? And what I mean by that is, let's say a teammate, you know, reached out to you and needed something from you. Maybe they couldn't reach you. Clients maybe wanting something, whatever it might be. How would you assess your responsiveness?
I would say that somebody can get in touch with me within minutes. If they email me, they're going to get a response probably within 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what it is, of course. Phone call, I usually have voicemails transcribed to my email because I'm very responsive on email. So yes, I say I'm very responsive.
Okay, sounds good. And where are you looking to take your career, Mandy?
Well, all the way past the glass ceiling, honestly. I've had to start over, unfortunately. So I'm that one kind of gets me. I just want a good work family right now. So I guess I don't have a good answer for that one.
Okay. And describe what's important to you when you say a quote unquote work family. I get the meaning, but it doesn't hurt to ask you to hear in your words.
Well, I have my husband and I have some dogs. I'm like the mom of the office. And so whenever I say work family, I mean friendly, have lunch together, sit down, hash out projects together, and be able to be like a family, have like family style freaking dinners while you're doing work. I
Right?
meant really work family. Family.
Awesome. Sounds great. And then last item for me is, well, two, um, well, actually one thing. So in terms of your tech ability, I think you've had some good experiences with marketing technology, but do you feel like you're pretty savvy with a computer? You fast learner? How would you answer that one? Maybe provide some examples.
Yes, I am a very fast learner. I was the on-site IT person. Um, the IT guy for Allegis was in Minnesota, and I would come in with blaring alarms and everything was shut off. And before he would even call me, I would have the office up and running. Or anytime a computer was down, I would go over and I would, do disk defragment, just basic stuff. It's normally turn it off, turn it on. But yeah, I'm the one that can sit down, hands on, and figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
hmm And I am a very, very quick learner.
Sounds good. Well, Mandy, great. This was helpful. You know, I've done interviews in the past and just kept them more conversational. But to be honest, for this one, I'm like, hey, I know I need to be checking boxes in all these areas.
Sure.
Because this role, Like I said, it's super vital. This
Mm-hmm.
person is the marketing team, until we grow. I mean, I think a good ratio marketers to salespeople is 1 to 5. And we've got 3 salespeople at the moment, 2 in North America, 1 in Europe, and we'll be, adding people soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you giving me all the background. Do you have any questions for me at this point? Because, like I said, I need to interview. You're the first out of my final 5 or 6 or whatever I've got down to. So
Yeah.
I still need to get through these people this week, but I'm looking to make a move ASAP. But any questions for me?
I don't have any because you pretty much answered them while I was speaking, so I thought that was great. I'm looking through my notes. Um, no, not at the moment. I was on your website, but I missed the base. So I will do a little bit more research, of course. But
Oh, you said you
uh,
missed the base. What do you mean? I'm not following.
base,
Oh,
VASE.
no. Oh, yeah. It's just through the phone. Sorry.
No, no, it's okay. I saw the event leads and I was looking at the customer testimonials, and I was just wanting to know more about the software itself. I'm a hands-on. I like to see demos and watch it in action. So
Yep, I hear you. Yeah, the VASE is really just an acronym that I'm using to help convey that
got
to
you.
people. But yeah, on our website, if you go to solutions, so
Hmm.
leadliaison.com and then solutions on the top, then under
Hmm.
products, you've got basically the VASE that I described there. But that event lead management solution, that's really
Hmm.
that's the future of the company right there.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I've got it down. I appreciate you, Ryan. I, I hope to hear back from you.
All right. Thanks, Manny. Appreciate your time, and we'll let you know. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a great day. Take care.
You too.
Bye bye.